Ah, ah, ah. Pooped out a grenade. Alright, so welcome to part 3. The first thing I'm gonna cover is your dance moves. Oh yeah, get it on, son. Oh yeah. But no, seriously. Dancing, I like to call it dancing. It's pretty important. Like, say, it's kind of a weird situation. Alright, so you're sitting watching the spawn corner for whatever reason, and an enemy pops around the corner. So he's at close range, so you can hip fire. And so, what do? Do you stand still and just try to outshoot him, or do you move? Now, usually this is kind of a oh shit reflex that you have to build up. Mine's pretty bad. I usually forget, but it's definitely something crucial. When someone pops around the corner like that, this is another reason, by the way, that I usually use foregrip. And so you're in this oh shit mode where you need to shoot them. Don't stand still, because you're both going to be in the same the same world where you're both staring at each other and you're like, shit, unless he has the jump on you and he's like peeking the corner and shoots you. But like, let's pretend that me and this pile of rubble here, we both ran around a corner and we both were not expecting the other one, both just staring at each other all starry-eyed into his red eyes, or flaming, I don't know. Anyways, so you hip fire and you want to strafe, right? You want to make it unpredictable, because when they're moving, it makes it hard to follow. And with hip fire, especially when you're panicking, it's really difficult to follow someone doing this. Now, another thing is to throw in a little crouch, because on their screen, their character model will just like instantly plop down and then back up. And a lot of the times when someone sees that, they'll be like, whoa, shit, and they'll like start aiming down at the ground, and then you spring back up. This is all, these are all little things. It's like not guaranteed. You could do this and they just ADS and kill the shit out of you. But if you're both suppressed and you're both just like oh shit dancing, the more you move, the better it'll be. It reduces your accuracy a little bit, but it throws them off more, so definitely something to practice. Alright, so now that we're on the topic of shooting at people that are running, here's something that I always found very difficult. This was always a struggle for me, was to shoot at people who are running sideways. I use a kind of sticky mouse pad. I mean, it's not like sticky, but there's some mouse pads that are almost like an air hockey table. Mine's like, yeah, it's pretty sticky. Also, I don't have anywhere to rest my arm, so for how I play, it's difficult for me to shoot sideways consistently. So this was definitely a challenge for me until I realized that I could do this to practice. One thing you can do is just trace this. Now, you might say, like, that's not that impressive, but what you do, so imagining someone's running, you practice shooting along this, right? So once you can shoot in a straight line across it, then you practice bursting. Now, there's not much you can practice for leading people without an actual test subject, but if you can burst in a straight line consistently, the key is consistently. Like, you don't want to be like, you want to have it as smooth as possible. And then you want to practice different speeds, you know, faster ones or like longer ones. Oh god, cheat. God, this thing's recoil. But yeah, this really helped me. I never really when I came onto PC, wow, that sounded dirty. There weren't ever any guides that had this tip, so I figured I'd share this because this is something that I came up with myself. It's pretty simple, but this really helped me a lot. Alright, so this next tip is actually going to be focusing on not your primary weapon, but your pistol. So your pistol is a very, very, very important part of your kit, even if you never use it. M16 is one of those guns that you often won't need your sidearm because it has good reload, good killing potential. Some guns, like if you're gonna go around sniping people, you need to have the right sidearm. Now, sidearms are all personal preference, but there's also some logic behind it more than just what gun feels right. Now, if you have a gun, like, for instance, if you are just a beast with the Magnum, you can just headshot people out of nowhere, like, then use that. Like, if you have a sidearm that you are personally very good with, then use that sidearm. So the worst thing you can have is a sidearm that you don't trust, because the sidearm's purpose, for most cases, maybe if you're a recon, it's a little different, but for most cases, your sidearm is an oh shit button. So you're shooting, shit, someone runs around the corner, you need a good gun. Now, choosing your pistol is really important. I use the G18. I like this gun for a few reasons. So, the first reason has to do with what a pistol's use is. The pistol is kind of an oh shit button. Some classes, like if you have a weapon that's really good at long range, like a snipe rifle or a battle rifle or like AN-94 or something that's really good at long range, you could, who the fuck is, whatever, you could pick a weapon that's good for close range, or inversely, if you have a weapon that's good at close range, you could pick like the Magnum for long range. The problem with this is, say you're running AEK laser sight, right? Beast up close, but has a really bad reload time. So you pick a gun that's good at long range, to complement it. So you pick the Magnum. The thing is, even though you're using the AK with laser sights, say there's a person down there, are you really gonna switch to the Magnum to try to kill him? Well, no, because it's not really a good range for the Magnum. Like, the AK still kills people better. I mean, unless you're just a beast with the Magnum. But I don't really think a pistol should be used as a second weapon unless you're using something like a bolt action rifle, because that's kind of its own whole world. But the pistol's main function is either an extended mag for if you're just on this huge killing spree, or primarily an oh shit button. Like, if you're shooting whatever, you need to reload, and someone flies around the corner, like, that's the primary use of your pistol, is an oh shit button. And so, I personally, I use the G18 because this is like the king of oh shit. Like, someone comes around the corner, you spray the room. Like, this thing will melt people at close range. Alright, now the last thing I want to talk about is twitch aiming. Disclaimer, this part of the video, you should have already mastered controlling your recoil and bursting. You should have already practiced tracing. You should have a really good feel on your weapon before you try to do this. What is twitch aiming? Well, twitch aiming is something that I'm not very good at because it's really difficult to do. What it is say, alright, this is target A and this is target B. Well, twitch aiming is jumping between targets very rapidly. This is something that you have to develop a muscle memory of. I have an okay muscle memory of it, but so you can see, I'm not aiming perfectly. I'm over aiming or under aiming. Now, like, when you do over under aim, it's important while doing this to immediately correct it, because there's two things that'll happen. One, when you over aim, you immediately come to the target as fast as you can. What will happen is, even though you over aimed, you'll still build muscle memory of the distance that it took to come back, and slowly you improve your muscle memory. Now, even if you can't go between like a certain distance proficiently, it's not a huge deal. The biggest thing is building your muscle memory for any situation, so that you can jump between either targets or enemies or whatever, without over or under aiming. So to practice twitch aiming, you pick two targets. Like, I picked these are pretty good ones to practice, because it's a pretty, you know, if you're aiming at something and then someone pops out over here, it's a pretty common distance for an enemy to pop out when you're aiming. To start though, I would practice on something really close if you're having trouble. But what you want to do is, other than just aiming, like first, trace back and forth. If you're off, correct. Don't get frustrated. Don't like be off and like, ah, god damn, ah, god damn. When you miss, correct, because like you're gonna over and under aim a lot. This is very difficult. But once you get the distance down, throw a burst in each one. Then throw 2 bursts. Oh, I'm kind of missed there. And then ultimately, you want to be able to switch mid-burst. Sort of mid-burst. But what you... Ultimately, you want to be able to be consistently bursting and then switch and have no time in between. So the time switching targets is 0. And so what this will do in game, if 2 threats pop out, you'll be able to down your first threat and instantly jump to your second threat and hopefully down him before you get killed. So to practice this, you basically choose any 2 points. You know, you can pick corners. I like to do this. This is actually a huge angle, but you want to practice small ones and then medium sized. Like this is pretty big actually. You don't really want to practice anything longer than this because it gets kind of ridiculous. But you know, pick. Let's do like from here to there. Just jump between it. Before this ends, I want to talk about practicing because it's good to warm up by, you know, just coming into server, picking your gun, bursting. These little pillars are great for just warming up. It's a pretty easy target. It's about the size of a body at that range. To just come in, like, shoot it a few times, then go into a real game. It's very nice. Grand Bazaar, this is like the ultimate map for practicing because just the US spawn, like, look at how much stuff there is. There's so many things to, like, you can practice people head glitching, you can practice different ranges, there's windows. This is a good map. Now you might hate this map for whatever reason, but it's important to have a place to go to practice because if you don't really know where you're going to practice, every time you're going to go into a different server, it's going to be uncomfortable and you're going to be shooting at different things. But it's important to pick a server. Like, I use Grand Bazaar. Every time I practice, I come here, US spawn, every single time. You know, throw down an ammo crate and start shooting stuff. Because if I go to a map like Sen Crossing, I'm going to spend more time like, finding good targets and places to shoot at than actually shooting. So it's good to pick a practice zone that's got everything you need. I would recommend Grand Bazaar. Alright, so I hope these videos helped. Everything in these are things to practice. Don't immediately go into a server now that I've told you what Twitch aiming is and just expect to be able to do it. It's something that you have to work on. You have to practice. You have to practice bursting to get to know your weapon, and you have to work on these things. But I hope you enjoyed, and I hope this helps. You can like and subscribe, or you know, that old jazz. But until next time, noob tubers, keep it coding.